go with this video. I'm gonna get y'all thoughts on this. All right, y'all can see it. There we go.
Oh, here we go. Yeah.
All right, here we go.
I had a homegirl, right? She had an encounter with a guy. She was on him. She hella liked him, whatever. She called me the next day. She was like, yeah. I had a homegirl, right? She had an encounter with a guy. She was on him. She hella liked him, whatever. She called me the next day. She was like, yeah, we did woo woo. And I was like, cool, right? A year or so passes. She meets a guy that she's really serious with. And then she's like, so I was thinking about that one guy I was with, and I think he wanted me. And I was like, you totally wanted him. You totally called me. You totally told me all the details. Yeah. Like, what do you mean right now? But I think it was like the shame that I think she felt that she allowed herself to go there. And then we met a serious guy. I think to herself, she was trying to make it seem like he overstepped or whatever. But he was like way tossed and she wasn't way tossed. She was fine. I think about shit like that. And I'm like, God forbid my sons were to have an encounter with a girl. She fully is, you know, fine with things. Mm-hmm. And then years, months later is like, the shame that I feel is uncomfortable. So I'm just going to say that you took advantage of me. Hell no.
All right, fellas.
Happens every day.
All right, make sure I muted all of y'all. All right, so listen, first question. Why do women lie about consent? Let's start with John. Why do women lie about consent?
About consent?
Yeah.
Why do women lie about consent? What do you mean? Women are women, bro. It's Eve. I mean, why do women lie? Look, my daughter's right here lying right now in front of me. Look, I'll just say this. I saw that. Give me a second. I'm getting distracted. I apologize. I'm making my quick point and move on. Basically, I'm listening to her. If she got a phone call, right? She's a witness. Was she a witness in the crime supposedly? Because she better be, right? Because that's already proof that she told her that she was consenting. One, and then two, I gave her props because I saw that I think she said Menchaca or some. She had a name tattoo. I was like, she's gonna say something. I thought her off the bat, no offense, you know. I thought she was gonna say something real stupid, but she redeemed herself by saying about her son. So I think the whole thing with that is a lot of people, a lot of women especially, they never think about the aspect of the son. That could be your son, and they never think about that. So I thought that was pretty cool, but I don't know what the question was. I'm sorry, man. I'm getting distracted.
Right
there. Why do women lie about consent? There you go. My ADD, bro. I'm sorry. Why do women lie about consent? Well, I mean, who are you with? If you're a high-profile person, obviously, me too. You're gonna get a bunch of money. That's one reason why you lie. There's a bunch of reasons why women lie.
All right, let's move it around right quick. John, let me bring my guy Victor in here, man.
Women lie about consent because other women don't hold women accountable. And so when there's no consequence, it becomes standard operating procedure. So it's the same reason why class action lawsuits can be brought up from 30, 40 years ago, and people like we saw with Bill Cosby, like you saw with R. Kelly, you know, like they even now questioning Hugh Hefner, you know, even though women sign NDAs and everything to be in the Playboy Mansion, you know, for whatever reason. And it's just, the truth is, this is why, you know, I talk about rule number 5, you know what I'm saying, so much with accountable masculinity.
Rule number 5 is from his book for the audience if you don't know.
Yeah, rule number 5 is, sexual discipline. Just because you can doesn't mean you should entertain sexual attention from every woman that shows it to you, you know, because this is the risk that goes with it. And the whole point of it is that this is the number one thing that takes men out of position altogether. Like, it don't even have to be true. It can be a rumor. Somebody can make something up. Somebody can come online and question a man's sexuality or whatever his proclivities are. And the simple question of it, without any foundation of evidence or anything, is enough to destroy or compromise a man's integrity and his reputation. It is a reputation destruction tool. It's cheap, it's effective, and it has a lot of staying power. You know what I'm saying? When it comes down to it. So women lie about consent because reputation destruction towards men is beneficial to them because it gets to further victimize them, even if it's not true.
Yeah, and that makes sense. Let me bring Vulcan in, but definitely reputation. You know, you get a bad rap of guys you sleeping. So Vulcan, what you got on this, man? Why do women lie about consent? Talk to us.
I think there's a number of reasons why women lie about consent, but I think we take it back to the very beginning. As soon as, excuse me, as soon as there was no more waiting until you get married, and women had to go out there and bargain and negotiate out in the open market, this was going to be the next thing on the agenda to start happening, because they're not the best when it comes to negotiating, and a lot of times with negotiations, it's about who has more leverage. And ladies know what men want. Men know what women want. Generally, women want attention. They don't want to be lonely. They don't want to be bored. And in exchange for that, women give up access to their bodies. And sometimes they give up that access to their bodies, and what they want doesn't get fulfilled. Or they meet somebody who's finally doing it, and they feel bad about exchanging it for cheap in the past. And then they'll rewrite the narrative. And I think with this situation, this lady, she might have been testing her friend to see if her friend would go along with the lie. And thankfully, her friend wasn't willing to do that.
Wow.
But if she'd have been like, girl, you know what? Is that what you really think happened for real? Or girl, did he do something to you without you? You didn't want to do it? She can retroactively apply her not wanting to have done it a couple years later into that moment and be like, yeah, I didn't want to do it.
Real quick.
Why did you come to that conclusion?
10 seconds. You said, James, that they don't feel satisfied. Guys, go to bluechew.com/John. I'm just kidding. I agree with you, but go ahead. I'm just shamelessly plugging in my promo.
Yeah, what made you come up with that? Why did you think of that she was actually testing her friend to see to go along with the lie? What made you think of that? That's interesting.
Well, because what she's bringing up to her friend, because it's something that happened that long ago. Why do you even need to talk to your friend about something like that? Why would you go that far back when you're talking about a current guy you're dealing with?
Would that even hold up in court, though, James? I mean,
everything holds up in court when it targets men. But when it comes to women,
there's no time. Well, so time is not a
statute of limitation.
No, look, they went back on Bill Cosby 40 years.
But are we talking about someone that's famous or not? That's a big difference. That's
the point. It doesn't. You don't even have to be famous.
I know that's the sad part. But what I'm saying, you're talking about a famous person. I don't, what non-famous people do we know that a girl's gonna come back 2 years later and say you raped her, and then it's gonna fall and it's gonna go to court.
Great.
Statistically, pull it up. Ask AI.
But non-famous people are kind of like that's kind of an oxymoron. We wouldn't know them because they're not famous. So
that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that's what I'm trying to divide it too, because if you're
I tell you like this. We've seen it happen with high school athletes all the time, and college athletes. Those guys are not
famous, but okay.
No, but what I'm saying
is
popular. Oh, well, what I'm saying is like, okay, let's go with the Duke lacrosse team that got caught up with that dancer, right? She lied on the entire Duke lacrosse team, and then came back and said she lied about it. So like, there aren't that many famous lacrosse players that we know, because we don't know any of those guys by name, do you?
What? Are you kidding me?
Dead serious. Like lacrosse,
I can name them all.
You can name a bunch of lacrosse players. That'll be great.
Nah, not really. I hear you though.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is that how many times have we seen high school athletes that had their career derailed because of a false accusation? Future NFL talent that they went unrealized because of a law. I mean, because of a reputation destruction practice. I could think of a few right off the bat: Brian Banks, Sean Oakman. These guys got locked up or had their careers put on hold and compromised because of a lie. This happens.
That's more common what you're saying. We actually seen that growing up you know, famous football players, even popular players, and you know, whether we was in high school or college. But what's y'all thoughts on this? This is the first time I ever heard something like this.
I was married for
This lady said,
15
I was
years.
married for